minutes, and what we're going to talk about is the rights. What rights do you lose once domestic violence is charged against you? And for the people who don't know, this really may be something that you want to listen to, because once a person has a domestic violence charge on you,
it's downhill.
It's really downhill from there.
No matter what state, no matter where you're at.
Hey, I know that, and the way that domestic charges can be placed on you, we have some information about that too. And we're looking for lawyers to call in.
Yes, please.
If you're a lawyer and you feel like our information is not correct,
and
let us know. But we're pretty sure that we have done the correct research, because I have a few friends who have had domestic violence charges placed on them. They're not violent guys. Yeah, they're not violent guys. No, these guys, two of the guys I'm talking about come right to mind. They are from here. They're not violent guys. It's just they had disputes with the girl that they're with, and one of my friends, the girl, really
false claim.
Yeah, but there is no such thing as a false claim. You're guilty until proven innocent.
That's the real deal.
And that's what we're going to talk about as we come back.
Well,
so
the number, 855-369-9898, that's the number to call in.
Yeah, call in if you've had any domestic situations where you're the one who placed the domestic violence charge on somebody, or domestic violence charge was placed on you. Call in. We want to talk to you about what happened. And
don't forget, it can go either way, because in my family, my mother was the abuser.
She used to whoop your dad ass.
Not whip his ass, but every time she would swing and everything, hit on him, scratch him. You know what I'm saying? Like
that's an ass whoop.
Well, he wouldn't do anything, of course, because he's a man. So in other words, see, on the other end, it might be different. You know what I'm saying? A woman start protecting herself or start it and fight back. He never, as far as I would always see, because she didn't care. She would do it wherever we were at.
That's the bigger man, I guess. I'm not the bigger man.
What?
You hit me. Most of the times, you only got to hit a woman one time for her to realize not to hit that motherfucker no more. That motherfucker hit me like I was a man.
I don't know what happened when they were by themselves, but in front of us, he never did.
That was before
he would,
O.J.
you know,
Simpson.
the old, you grab somebody and like, you pull their hand down or what have you, but
oh, yeah.
he never. It's not like he just took it and like Howard. No, he would grab her to try and stop her, but. She's crazy. Anyway, so yeah, are we going to take the break?
Yeah, we're going to take the break now. The number to call in once again, Darlene.
855-369-9898.
Give us info you have on domestic abuse.
The Tale of Woe Hour.
Speaking of there you go.
Oh, yeah, the theme is violence music. Violence music this week. Fuck your ass up.
Here we go.
Yeah, violence. Violence music is the theme.
And in this corner,
we thought of some little clever violent music songs while the break was going on.
I didn't get to hear much of the words, though. But anyway, the number to call in once again is 855-369-9898.
Ladies and gentlemen, we want to talk about the rights you lose once domestic violence is charged against you. And a lot of people, you live life every day. You don't really think about the hustle that the courthouse has set up for you if and when something like this happens. But the courthouse is one of the coldest hustles in this country. The United States preys off its citizens for money.
And God forbid you don't have any money to back you up, your own. Oof.
When you don't have money, the circumstances
could be completely different.
Yeah, they're just that much more to deal with when you don't have money. When you have money, you can
get a better chance.
Fix things easier.
Yeah. Well, education plays into it too, Corey, because the foundation for domestic violence charges is, in California anyway, the Domestic Violence Prevention Act. And it was designed to prevent the recurrence of acts of domestic violence and to provide a separation between the parties involved for a period of time sufficient to enable them to work out their problem. Now,
but Bobby, let me explain something to you. They wrote that basically to abbreviate what they're saying. They're acting like they're just referees, and when you guys work it out, then this is the way we're going to give you time and everything to work it out amongst yourselves. Well, basically that's what you're.
No, they're saying that sets the stage for you to go to the next step. That's the foundation. Because what happens after that law was passed, the categories of it are if you're a spouse, a cohabitant, somebody you dating or engaged to, a co-parent, a child, or a blood relative. Any of those categories, you can actually go down to the courthouse and just tell them that there's reason for you to file these charges. The
Even
person
if it's like a roommate.
They
Let's just say
threaten
you lived
you.
with a roommate.
They physically attack you. Either way, it could be a roommate, anybody. But you go to what they call ex parte court. That means you just go into the court and you ask to see the judge, and they give you an audience with the judge. And based upon what you tell the judge, the person that offended you don't even have to be there. It can be just you. Go into a courtroom.
That's the point I'm trying to make.
Yes.
What I'm saying is, at first what I was saying, the wording that you said in the beginning makes it so general where they get to go with it from there. Just
Absolutely.
like this law they have now where they can listen to you and spy on you, and video record you. What is it called, this new Patriot Act?
Oh, the Homeland Security.
Yeah, all that. Basically, they'll word it in a way where it's general, but it gives them the right to do all kinds of things to take your rights.
Exactly.
Right.
And with this, what you just got through saying, Bobby, because most of the time, the people you get into it with are people you know. They are so intelligent, but with wicked intentions. They've gathered up the information from all of the people that people normally are always having disputes with, the people who you just named, Bobby, your relatives and everybody like that. And they have found a way to hustle this. And we'll start off by talking about how somebody can go down there without you and press charges on you just off what they said.
Yeah.
Wow.
And that's what it's called, ex parte. You just walk into court and explain
Now,
what your
is that
circumstance
everywhere?
is. Yes. Ex parte court is available for you. Anybody in this room can go to court
Anywhere,
tomorrow.
everywhere.
Okay. And explain the circumstances of your situation to a judge. And once he hears that, he can, start the ball rolling.
And the other person doesn't have to be there before them to file.
And so how do they get notified, the other person?
That's the next step. But that first step gives you protection by law. The next step is you do have to, formally charge that person in court. All right. But they don't have to be there for that either.
So that's similar to when the
But
kids...
they got so much time to respond, though.
So that's almost similar to when the kids can call up that line and say, my mom hit me, my mom beat me, and then they come and the social services come and then they're on them for the longest time. That just happened to my girlfriend.
And you have to fight your way out of that situation.
Her daughter called up, same thing, called up and said, my mom did this and this and this to me because she was all mad she couldn't go out. They showed up. She didn't know how serious it was going to be because one of her other little girlfriends shared it. Like, you could get at your mom. You could get her back. And next thing you know, she had them on her so tough for a few months.
So what you're saying is the little girls, the people,
kids,
the little girl got information from
another friend about a number for social service. Yes.
Calling a service against her mother.
Same thing. Like I was telling.
That's within the domestic violence prevention act. Children are covered under that.
Right. I know what you're
Exactly.
saying.
So without her knowing, and next thing you know, she gets a knock on the door like a few days later, and there it is. And it followed her. Next thing you know, this person had to keep showing up. So that was the aftermath. That's why I said it sounds very similar. But anyway, now she had to prove I'm not that kind of mother that my daughter, this is a false, and it was a mistake. But she had to prove it, and it was a lot of bull.
You are still at the whim of the person who comes to the house
So
and does the investigation. And a lot of times it's young women who, and this is America, a 25, 26, 28, 29-year-old woman is in charge of evaluating you.
Yep, in your home.
And there's a lot of stuff that goes with that because bitches hate. You know what I mean? You might be a cute mom, and the bitch who's the social worker is ugly. And that bitch will make it rough for you and your child just because you're an attractive woman.
Yeah.
These are the elements you're up against as these people start coming into your house with rights that were given by the court to interfere with your shit. Yeah. And if you don't have money, you have no power.
So I'm curious as how they do their checking up. In other words, at least with this particular situation, the social worker comes and kind of just sits in, watches how they do their everyday, shows up unannounced, watches how they partake in their livelihood at home with each other. Now, I don't know how this would happen. In other words, you know what I'm saying? As she got the call and the charge, they go to check before they make official charge on her. So it took months, and that lady was showing up.
This triggers a process. Once you go ex parte,
but I'm wondering how do they find out on this after someone goes into court and makes these claims? How do they then go to that other person that they made the claim against and find out if it was true or not? What are the
after you file that initial paperwork, is ordered to show cause. That's when the other person is informed.
Right, and then I'm wondering how do they find out that person did not do that?
Well, then it becomes a circumstantial situation because the law is so broad, as Corey said earlier. All they got to prove is the intent to harm
you come
somebody.
with the key words. When you say circumstantial situation,
yeah,
the odds are in favor of the courthouse. It's circumstantial. What the fuck they say.
Yep.
And they have broad power.
What counts, right?
They have broad power.
So all of that, I know my rights. That's a old school statement to tell the police. When the police pull you over, if you say, I know my rights, what rights do you have? All your rights have been taken away from you. Do you get that? That's what I would tell.
Because it's your word against his word.
Right. Yeah. And his word is everything.
Yeah.